This is the final weekend of racing action for the 2020 Formula Renault Euro Cup. We've had 18 of the 20 races so far, with the 9 previous rounds being at Monza, Imola, Nürburgring, Magny-Cours, Zandvoort, Barcelona, Spa-Francorchamps, Imola again, Hockenheim, and now here in the autumn sunshine in the middle of November at Paul Ricard in the south of France. Conditions absolutely fine. 18 degrees track temperature and air temperature and track temperature, the highest it's been today, 19 degrees. But certainly it was very difficult to get heat in the tyres this morning when the drivers went out for qualifying. The track was very cold and greasy. Just not overnight rain, just simply the curbs and half of the track covered with dew. Very tricky for the drivers. They were very cautious indeed, but qualifying was extremely interesting, and right at the end it was neither of the two drivers who can go for the championship here at the final round who took pole, but Lorenzo Colombo for Bitec. 3 poles in a row for the young Italian, for the Italian team Bitec. He put it on the top position. He took pole. Victor Martins, the runaway championship leader, took second on the grid, and third, to keep him in sight, is the driver of number 1, the Brazilian racer Caio Collette. He's got to be sure that he comes through to win, because a 6th place finish in either this race or the one tomorrow to conclude the season will be enough for Victor Martin, who was second in the championship last year, to go one better and become the 2020 champion. And for a long time in the qualifying session, Victor Martin and Caio Collette weren't even in the top 10 with 5 minutes to go in the second qualifying session. That's the one that defines the grid for tomorrow's race. Martin was down in 16th place out of the 19 runners, so he really left it late, but track conditions were improving all the time. So for the drivers, plenty of space out around the circuit for them to go out and play that long Mistral straight up into the wonderful sweeping senior corner. Now get used to the image of number 1, the race GP entry, Caio Collette. He's second in the championship, but he's 44 points down. There are 50 points to play for across this race and tomorrow's finale. He can do it, he can take the title, but it's going to be a massive ask, because Victor Martin, with 7 wins to his name to Colette's 5, is sitting pretty at the top of the charts. So many of these drivers still in their teens, some 16, some 17, 18, and then the old ones are 20. Again, it just goes to show the profile of single-seater racing. You move into it with years of kart racing experience. Some of the very top kart racers in the world come to play, and then you have to deliver to move as quickly as you can up the ladder. But drivers starting to assemble down on the grid. But let's go down and hear from Matteo Zangarelli, the team manager of ART Grand Prix, and that's the team running championship hopeful Victor Martin.
Mathieu, congratulations, you've already won the team's championship, but the drivers' championship is yet to be decided. Victor is behind us here, and he could well clinch it in this race.
Yes, that's true. First of all, thanks. It's a good thing for the team. But yeah, the main goal is to get the driver title. So he's in good position for reach this target today. We have 44 points, so ahead Caio. So yeah, just a safe race, but still I think he wants to win, to finish with a win this championship. So we'll see. We have 30 minutes plus 1 lap.
Is he feeling stressed at all?
Not at all, no. And even the team, we are quite calm at the moment. But yeah, maybe when the green light will be there, it will be a bit different. But no, just exciting, I think.
It's fair to say that Victor has driven extremely well throughout the season.
Yeah, he's really, first of all, he's fast, that's true. He's consistent. He was really strong help for us, to be clear, straight from the beginning of the season. So he deserves this title, so I really hope that he will win today.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's been a super strong season from Victor. He took 10th in the opening race of the season. That wasn't typical, and thereafter he's never finished lower than 5th. But he's picked up 7 wins. He had a wonderful run from the meetings at the Nürburgring through Magny-Cours to Zandvoort, where he picked up 2 wins, a third, a first, and a second, and then followed by 2 wins at Barcelona. That really set his title push. But he was chased all the time by Caio Colette. There is Caio, the Brazilian racer, starting third on the grid for Race GP. His wins came a little later in the season, but he's peppered them through. But he's never won 2 races at a round. That's why he has 5 wins to his name and 7 to the driver he's chasing after. But the one they're all going to be chasing after is Lorenzo Colombo, the Italian, who's really, really picked up his form. He'll be starting from pole for both races this weekend. But let's go down and hear from Gemma, who's got Benoit Hugier from Renault Racing.
Benoit, it's been quite a season, albeit starting very late with the challenges of COVID, but these boys behind us here have given us something very, very spectacular this year, and finally going down to the wire for the championship.
Yes, it's been a completely huge season. I cannot really realize that we finally organized our 10 events after all what happened with the pandemic. It's crazy to have finally a world season, and what a season. The season is not finished, it's the last weekend of the season, and we are still looking for our champion. Okay, I think we are very close to get it, but there is still 1 point for him to get, so good luck for all the drivers, and a big thank you to all the drivers, the teams, Renault Sport Racing staff for the huge season they did.
This championship has been won over decades now, that has raised future champions of Formula One. You know, as a sport, you must be very, very proud.
Yes, for sure. I think when you think about the last 50 years now, there have always been Formula Renault somewhere. 16 drivers on the 20 drivers in F1 at the moment drove a Formula Renault one time in their career. So it's a very big pride for me to organize the championship, and I'm sure the future will be even better.
If you look through this crowd now, quickly just behind us, and who would you pick out as somebody to really watch for the future?
As a winner, I think that's the goal of the sport. But the battle between Martins and Collette this year has been huge. So I'm sure Caio, after what he realized this year, whatever the result will be for the championship this year, he will have a great career, for sure.
Thank you very much, Benoit.
Thank you.
Good to hear there from Benoit Hugier, and certainly from when I first saw Formula Renault, probably in the 1980s, it's come on leaps and bounds. Back then it was principally a French racing series, a club series, but it's grown and it's grown. It's now global. This is the prime one, the Euro Cup for Formula Renault. Franco Colapinto showing its global spread. He'll be starting from 4th on the grid, up from Argentina to do his racing here. He started the season with a bang, winning the opening race at Monza back at the start of July, but he's come on strong. He's sitting 3rd in the championship, 2 wins to his name. Can't get close to that top 2 though. Victor Martin and Caio Colette are home at the front of the championship. It's a question of which one of them will take the title, but with that 44-point advantage and just 50 points on offer this weekend at Paul Ricard, you'd have to think it's the driver of 92, the driver large on our screens, Victor Martin, who's going to get the job done. He's been very, very good under pressure. Far less pressure now on him than there was earlier in the season, because he's got that good points buffer. Car 17, the top rookie on the field, that's Adrien David. He's just ahead of Alex Quinn. MP Motorsport and Arden on the same row of the grid, row number 3, the top rookies. Top rookie on points is Quinn, who's 4th overall. But certainly lots of rookies, their first season in this championship against second season racers in that top 10. In fact, they are 4th in terms of Alex Quinn. David Vidal is second rookie in 5th overall. Then William Alatala, who is 8th overall, and Adrien David, who's best place of these rookies on the grid, is down in 10th overall on the championship standings. And as we heard from, I think it was Matteo Zangarelli, stating this race is 30 minutes plus 1 further lap beyond the half hour. Taking a look from turn 1, Verrières back up the grid, and then again from the opposite direction from the final corner. This race with a slight heat haze, it almost could be in September, it could be March, but we didn't start that early. We started in July and it's mid-November. Still fabulous conditions at Circuit Paul Ricard. So the cars, they will be having a standing start, of course. They're going around the formation lap. And on pole position, we've got Lorenzo Colombo, 53 by Tech is his team and number. tucked in behind. There we have him alongside Victor Martin, who'll start on the outside the front row, number 92 for ART Grand Prix, 44 points clear of the best of the rest, and the best of the rest is number 1, Collette for Race GP. He'll start third on the grid. Franco Colapinto will start fourth, 2 South Americans on row 2. Then French rookie driver Adrien David and Alex Quinn, the rookie points leader, will be starting 5th and 6th. Gregor Saucy and Russian racer Mikhail Belov form row number 4. Row number 5, another rookie, David Vidales from Spain, and Hugo de Wilde, the Belgian racer for the Arden team. Paul Aron from Estonia, and William Alatallo just across the border in the 38 entry from JD Motorsport. They're on row number 6. Row 7, Richard de Gerus for Arden, and Tiemann van der Helm, another rookie for FA Racing. Amaury Cordil, teammate to Tiemann van der Helm, and Petra Petacek for MP Motorsport. And then Elias Seppanen joins the championship this weekend. Laszlo Toth, and the final row of the grid, all on his own in 19th place, Nicola Marinangeli. But just remember, the front row, 3rd pole position in 3 races. In fact, this is his 2nd. He's got pole for tomorrow's race as well. Lorenzo Colombo coming really, really good for Bitec Racing. That's car number 53. Heat in the tyres, an absolute essential. Very tricky first couple of corners. Derriere, the kink to the left, and then over a slight brow, then it drops away the other direction to the right through turn 2. And a lot of drivers, it's very hard to find your braking point, even any marking points at Paul Ricard, particularly the first turn. You've got trees up ahead of you, but a lot of space. And so it's quite hard for the drivers to place their cars, and frequently drivers simply outbrake themselves. And you have space to go on, but then you're off the track, and then you've got to cede position before you rejoin. Hopefully these 19 racers, predominantly teenagers, will keep it on the black stuff between the white lines that mark out the edge of the circuit. And for our pole man, Lorenzo Colombo, his best result so far was victory last time out, the 2nd of the 2 races at Hockenheim, just last weekend. So his tail is up. He's got pole position for both today's race and tomorrow's as well. For Bitac, Italian team, Lorenzo Colombo, it's certainly a very, very good end to the season for them. All 19 cars have come around the final corner. Virage DuPont, I beg your pardon, Tour is the previous corner, onto the start-finish grid. Yes, I can see the black car, Nicola Marinangeli, right at the rear of the grid. So Bitec at the front of the grid and the back. Lorenzo Colombo at the front, and at the back, Laszlo Toth and Nicola Marinangeli. Waiting for the lights on the gantry to be turned from red to green. The green flag's waved at the back of the grid. Very tidy start by racing. The driver in 5th place on the grid. Sorry, 4th place, Adrien David did not get away well. He's lost position, but Colombo has the lead, looking to try and sweep around the outside. It's not going to happen, surely, for Victor Martin. No, it doesn't. They're running in grid order, so it's Colombo, Martin, Collette, and Franco Colapinto. Very neat, very tidy. Well done to these young racers, certainly. Well, we've got one driver going off the track a little bit there. It's another of the ART Grand Prix cars bouncing around a little bit. Was that Grégoire Saucy? But anyhow, the top 4 as they were, and then a clash and a bash between 17 and 32. That's Adrien David and driver of 32, David Vidales. There's the Spaniard rejoining. Well, he gained a few places perhaps by being off the circuit there, but he was put off the circuit rather than asking to go there in his own right. Out of turn 7, L'École onto the Mistral straight, and it's Colombo by 2 or 3 car lengths, enough to not really provide much of a tow to Victor Martin, but they've got a chicane to take halfway up the straight, turns 8 and 9. If the race finishes as it is, I know it's rather early to say that, with 30 minutes plus 1 further lap, then the title will go to Victor Martin. Importantly for him, he is in front of his championship rival Collette, but the yellow nose with the number 1 on it, the Brazilian Collette, getting a very good tow in the second half of the Mistral straight. Up they go to Scene at the top, but any potential overtaking manoeuvre is more likely to come into the following corner, into Beausset. And up front, starting to make a break, Lorenzo Colombo. Victor Martin being pushed very hard indeed. He's the championship leader in 2nd place overall. Victor, the Frenchman, being pushed very, very hard indeed by Caio Collette, and Lorenzo Colombo saying, "Thank you for the attention, Caio. You're letting me get clear." And at the end of the opening lap, 0.6 of a second was the margin of advantage. So a very good lap from the pole starter. Victor Martin's holding that important second place. Then Caio Collette, Franco Colapinto. At the end of the opening lap, the advantage went out from 0.6 to 1.16 seconds for Colombo. It looked larger than that 0.6 of a second margin that was shown fleetingly, and some drivers cutting a few corners a little bit further back. MP Motorsport car running off the circuit there. A little bit further back down towards the tail of the field. Might be Petro Putacek. Up front, it's still stable. Colombo, Martin, Collette, Colapinto and Alex Quinn tucked in behind. Car number 20, the top runner in the rookie class. No signal of any penalties as yet for the driver who was pushed wide down at the exit of the chicane. That was car number... Adrian David put it off. It was William... No, it wasn't. It was David Vidales. He's up into 6th place. Yeah, Petro Putacek was the one who had the little off-track moment down on the exit of between turns 1 and 2. He's rejoined. He's not lost any ground. There he is, tucked in just behind Tiemann van der Helm. So taking a look at the 5 red lights coming on, but more importantly going out. Dreadful start from Adrian David from 5th on the grid, and he was almost immediately passed by 3 cars that started behind him. What a nightmare for him. But for the pole starter, for Lorenzo Colombo, he did all he needed to do. Certainly being made to look in both his mirrors as Victor Martin looked to his left and then looked to his right, but then tucked in behind, held on to 2nd place. Caio Collette wasn't able to challenge at that point around the opening lap, and 4th on the grid, leading to 4th in the race for Franco Colapinto, the number 11 car, tucked in behind. Really pretty tidy for the 19 runners as he went on down the hill. 91 was the one that ran a little bit wide, bouncing over the curbs. Paul Aron, and then straight on down at the chicane. Hadn't noticed that at the time, but what I am noticing now is the advantage at the front of the field is growing all the time. Lorenzo Colombo pulling clear of Victor Martin, some place changing potentially down towards the tail of the field. Not quite happening as yet. One driver who lost positions was Mikhail Belov, the Russian racer. He started the race 8th, and he's now down to 11th place behind recovering Adrian David, who made that awful start from 5th on the grid. There is Adrian David, mentioning him, yellow nose on his black car. He's teammate, he's with MP Motorsport. Tucked in behind, he's got Michael Belov, William Alatalo et al. But up front, these laps are very, very good indeed for our race leader, Lorenzo Colombo. The field is just starting to string out a little bit. It's nose to tail, but the advantage at the front is going out. It was best part of nearly 1.5 seconds, 1.386 seconds at the last checkpoint. Colombo ahead of Victor Martin. But then again, whatever was gained early in the lap by Colombo's being clawed back in the middle sector of the circuit by Victor Martin. That's why he's got right onto the tail of the race leader. Now is he about to show the sort of form that's led to 7 wins so far in this championship. 7 wins from 18 starts. The driver challenging him for 2nd place in this race, trying to be champion himself, is the driver in 3rd. Number 1 on the nose, 5 wins. His name is Caio Collette. Yeah, that was a messy middle sector of the 3 of this lap for Lorenzo Colombo. 8 tenths of a second slower than Victor Martin, 9 tenths of a second slower than Caio Collette. That is why the first 3, instead of stretching out, is concertinaing in. That's good news. So at the end of the lap, the real story there is Caio Collette is about to lend a helping hand to the race leader, Lorenzo Colombo, because he's getting on the tail. He's in 3rd, still in 3rd, but he's now getting onto the tail of his championship rival, Victor Martin. But as soon as I said that, Martin was much the better of the duo through the first 2 corners, so gained a little bit more breathing space. Colombo just 8 tenths of a second clear in the lead of the race at the end of the 3rd lap. There are definite parts of this lap where Colombo is very, very good indeed. First part in particular, the second part of the lap, the middle sector, Very, very technical indeed. And this is where Victor Martin claws it all back again. Can he do it again this lap? Just waiting as up the straight they go, but a curtailed straight here because the chicane inserted halfway up its orders, turns 8 and 9, if you will, on this lap. Just waiting to see if the splits have been as poor for Colombo, the race leader, as they were last time, where he lost 8 to 9 tenths of a second. But no, he's improved his time through that sector. Those behind both gained a tenth on him, but that was a much better performance from our race leader. Again, the gap is opening out, so that brilliant first sector for Lorenzo Colombo, fastest of anybody. Now Kaya Collette's just banged in the fastest second sector of anybody, and that's why the top three are covered by just a whisker over 1 and a bit seconds. 1.1, 1.2 seconds. Sun in the drivers' faces as they go towards the end of the lap. Sweeping through the tricky corners, Bendor, Village. And he goes through Tour, and then this is the final corner, Virage Dupont. See what the gap is when they cross the start-finish line. Looks fairly stable at the front of the race, just under a second, I think. Just over a second, 1.1 seconds now. Lorenzo Colombo, much better middle sector for him. And then just under half a second between second and third, between the championship rivals, Victor Martin and Kaya Collette. Franco Colapinto hanging in behind. He's nearly 2 seconds back, though. He's got Alex Quinn, the top rookie, racing for Arden, all over his tail. Paul Aron in 91 is pressing on. He's all over the tail of the red and white Arden entry from Hugo de Wilde. Not sure he can go around the outside at the chicane without tears. He doesn't, thinks better of it, tucks in behind through turn 4. Into turn 5 now, right on the tail. The important place to me is to get a good exit from this corner, which is turn number 6, Saint-Baume, and then be quick over the curves, right the curves a little bit, onto the Mistral straight. But in fact, the car in front with Gregoire Saucy did it a little bit better. Sorry, Hugo de Wilde did it that little bit better. Wilder in 27, so he gained a bit of an advantage going up towards the chicane. Heavy on the brakes, but keep it clean, keep it tidy. Drivers really do rattle those curves. They're not high in profile, but they give them a real vibration as they run over the strip curbing here at Paul Ricard. Again, Kaya Collette in third place, just edging marginally closer to his rival, to Victor Martin, and edging clear. Ahead of them is our race leader, Lorenzo Colombo. But I honestly think the fastest driver in the top 3 is Kaya Collette on his 4. But he's got to find his way past Victor Martin, and Martin does not want to let his title rivals past. If he stays where he is, he will pick up this championship before we even get to the final race. This is the penultimate race. Victor Martin is controlling it from second place. That man might sound like an oxymoron, but he knows what he wants. He wants the title. If he can do it with the win, that's fantastic. So he's not too concerned right now, though. Title will be his if he stays in that second place. Override those basic instincts the driver has. Going for victory, going for victory. Don't go for victory at all costs. Not with a title in the reckoning. Another decent lap from our race leader, Lorenzo Colombo. 1.2 seconds to the good now over Victor Martin. Martin in 92. Actually looks so he's starting to shake off Kaya Collette. He's just put in the fastest first sector, and it shows. He's gained about 2 tenths on 3 tenths on Kaya Collette, and that is why the gap has grown out between them. It's gone out. He's now starting to see if he can get Victor Martin. He's trying to get it close enough to get a toe off Lorenzo Colombo. Hasn't been close enough so far, but has had to be looking in his mirrors, seeing what Kaya Collette is up to. But with that really good start to this lap, lap number 7, he's broken Brazilian behind him, who's going to have to make sure he makes no mistakes and close in again, or the battle's over. Background of the shot off the right-hand side of the screen, still see Franco Colapinto in 4th place, but the top rookie, Alex Quinn, is coming closer and closer. The black entry, black and white, just the top of the shot. Car number 20, he's got an advantage in the class. The next rookie isn't Gregoire Saucy, who's behind him, but David Vidales, who's in the car behind him. David Vidales in car number 32 for JD Motorsport. He's the second rookie. There it is, the white nose tucked in behind car number 27, Hugo de Wilde, then Paul Aron behind him, and then another rookie, Adrien David, who is 4th rookie in 10th overall. Drivers really becoming wise to each other after, for some of them, a second season racing together, but the vast majority their first season racing against this group of rivals. They get to learn each other. They do go from circuit to circuit, but in time, as they learn their craft, they'll start to recognise their rivals. Where are their strengths? Where are their weaknesses? I must say, looking at their career records from karting, this first step in single-seaters, actually quite a few of them have done a year in Formula 4 to learn about slicks and wings and single-seaters, but they do get to know each other really very quickly indeed. Car number 27, Hugo de Wilde, running in 8th place. Car number 91 in 9th, that's Paul Aron. Paul was the one who had a little bit of a rough ride out of turn 2 on the opening lap. Car number 11, Franco Colapinto. He's 2 seconds off that lead trio, but he's got an advantage of 1 second over Alex Quinn. But the British rookie doing his best to keep him honest, and in fact closes in marginally in the first sector of this lap. 32 there. That's 7th place overall. Second rookie, David Vidalis. Hugo de Wilde all over his tail, and in fact catching both now. Paul Aron, Adrien David, who started 5th, fell down to 10th. Is still in 10th in the yellow nose car from MP Motorsport. He is, I'm sure, quick enough to get up with them, and he's got to be able to see what he can do. For the record, Lorenzo Colombo almost precisely 1 second clear, 1.001 seconds clear of Victor Martin. Martin not really prepared to take any risks, very happy to hold down second place as long as Caio Collette is behind him. And in fact, such is their advantage with the gaps going out a little bit until you get back to 6th place that really it's quite relaxing for Victor Martin. Second place would be absolutely enough, thank you very much, to take the 2020 title. This race, half an hour plus 1 further lap, so we're very nearly halfway through the race. By the end of the next lap, we will be there. Will it still be Lorenzo Colombo at the lead of the pack? One senses it is. He seems to have the answers to any questions asked by those running behind him. It's also worth noting that he's got the 2 championship challengers behind him on the circuit. Lorenzo only ranking 6th here on points when he arrived, but in fact quite a gap to David Vidalis in 5th in the championship, so may not be able to rise a great deal higher than that, but certainly the form the Italian is showing in that number 53 entry from Bytech at this late stage of the season, the final round of 10 rounds, it's looking very, very promising for him. All of the runners still circulating at the back of the pack. We've got Bytech leading the race, and we've got Bytech 18th and 19th in this 19-car field, with Nicola Marinangeli having at least picked off his teammate Laszlo Todt. But up front for Bytech, Lorenzo Colombo looking very, very comfortable indeed. Victor Martin chasing just over a second in arrears, and then just now 0.8 of a second here clear of Caio Collette, and this time Caio gaining a little bit in the middle sector. You can see the gap starting to come down for the Brazilian. Interesting rear shot of the cars there. You can see the front wings vibrating when you looked under the cars as they went out of turn 7. That's because they're running over the curbing and there's so much vibration. You can see the curve, the vibrations at the front end. Now, this looks quite interesting. The battle for 4th place is hotting up. 3/4 of a second between the drivers last time around. It's Franco Colapinto in 4th and Alex Quinn, the top rookie, in 5th. It's down to 7/10 of a second, coming down little by little. Then there's a gap. You can see it between the black car number 20, that's Quinn, and the car 93, Gregoire Saucy, who's 3.6 seconds back in 6th place. So in terms of chasing the rookie honours, it's very much advantage Alex Quinn at this point. In fact, he's had a good season. He started with 2nd pole position, fastest lap in the opening race, and 2nd overall to win the rookie class. And in the last 6 races, he's won the rookie class 5 times. So his tail is very much up in this the final stage of the season. As I mentioned, quite a few of the drivers, if they didn't come here straight from karting, they had a year or so in Formula 4, and last year Alex Quinn finished 4th. No, he didn't. That was quite a long time ago. That was 3 seasons ago he finished 4th in British F4, but learning his craft and learning it very well. Now, the clock is counting down. That's great news for Victor Martin in 2nd place. He can enjoy this evening as the champion. But who can topple him? The driver right behind him. That's Collette, car number 1. Race GP. Black with the yellow nose and yellow wings. But whatever question he asks, the answer is with Victor Martin. He's not left a gap anywhere for Collette to get by. I still honestly believe that Caio is the quickest of the top 3, but he's 3rd in that order. And for ART Grand Prix, Victor Martin is not even thinking of leaving the door open. All of this is very good news, because even though Martin looks completely in control, it is taking a little bit of his attention, the pressure from Collette. So race leader Lorenzo Colombo goes through 1.7 seconds to good now. Certainly that toe between 1st and 2nd has been broken, which is good news if our race leader Colombo is to make it 2 wins on the bounce. In the background, very, very tight indeed. 91 is Paul Aron, 17 is Adrien David, and David gains the place. That was bold. Up a place he goes, so for Adrien David, 10th becomes 9th, but the worst figure for him is the fact that 5th on the grid became 10th on the opening lap when he just did not get the power down at all from the standing start. Now, what can Adrien David? Can he advance further? For MP Motorsport, he's gone past Paul Aron. Hugo de Wilde, car number 27, will be his next target. The red and white car from Arden just up the track. Oh, Collette getting closer and closer to the tail of the driver who could be heading towards the title, Victor Martin. Up the Mistral straight they go out of L'École. Really starting to nip and tuck. Collette not just trying to pass. First of all, he's going to try and unsettle his championship rival, his title rival, the driver with 44-point advantage. That's Victor Martin, but Martin's holding on to 2nd place. That will be enough. He only needs a 6th place. Even if this race was won by Collette, that would be enough for the French ace, Victor Martin. But he's running 2nd, so he'll have more than enough points in the bank. Of course, when you're racing against a rival, it doesn't matter where you finish in so many ways, as long as you're ahead of them, then you'll take the title. That's exactly, one would feel, what's going through Victor Martin's mind. Bit by bit, race leader Lorenzo Colombo pulling ever further clear. 2.2 seconds to good. He gained half a second on that lap. 0.4 of a second between 2nd and 3rd, between Victor Martin and Collette. And do I sense those behind are closing in? Yes, Franco Colapinto is just over 2 seconds down in 4th place, but he needs to have a hurry up because Alex Quinn is just off his tail as the top rookie in 5th. Almost inevitably, this little battle for 2nd place, Victor Martin against Collette. Their proximity to each other is slowing the rivals up the straight one more time. Lorenzo Colombo looking in his right side mirror to look back and check the progress of the battle behind him. He knows they're quick, he knows they've won more races than he has, but they're fighting. And that's giving him scope to stay at the front of the pack after that great start from pole position. Again, just looking at the intervals, yeah, Colapinto closes in on them again, so 4th place is catching up. Alex Quinn in 5th place overall. The top rookie is also slightly faster in the early stages of this lap than this duo, Martin and Collette, duking it out for 2nd place, but in so many ways they're duking it out for the championship, because that could be settled here this afternoon at Paul Ricard in about 10 minutes time. It's a 30-minute race plus one further lap. Don't forget that, or forget it at your peril. The ART Grand Prix who run, Victor Martin. He's getting pressed more and more by Caio Collette, but we've seen this through the course of the season. If you're going to make a move, make it a surprising one. You could sense the body language there from Collette in the corner before, skirting around. He may lose. He's lost second place, Victor Martin. Or is he still alongside? Not quite. He's going to have to tuck in behind. He's going to go up the inside into turn one. This could be messy. Who could take more of a risk? You'd have to say it'd be Victor Martin could take more of a risk. He's up the inside, but sweeping around the outside. Collette is very bold indeed. A lot of drivers would go, he's going to come up the inside. If he takes me off, the championship is his. Now he's got a new hope. He's moved up to second place. That won't be enough for the title for Collette, but there is a slight hope, because in behind, maybe Martin will lose a little more ground, because Franco Colapinto in number 11 is now right onto his tail. He didn't suddenly do a faster lap, he just didn't make a mistake on his. The Argentinian racer won at the opening race of the season. He won again at Spa-Francorchamps. He won two races, the Formula Renault races, supporting the Spa 24 hours. And now, so long in third place, Caio Collette starting to pull clear in second. Hoping, praying that Colapinto in number 11 can get on the tail of 92. That's the championship leader, Victor Martin. But if he can stay where he is, he will only lose 3 points to this is Victor Martin. He'll only lose 3 points to Caio Collette, because you get 15 points for third. That's where he's running. 18 points for second. But with a title advantage of 44 points, that leaves him 41 points clear going into the final round with only 25 to play for. Easy maths for him. It might change very slightly if he gets demoted to fourth place, but that will give him only 3 points fewer. Replay of the move, it was coming. Slight mistake a couple of corners earlier from Victor Martin, but really what it was is Caio Collette was thinking, the body language there, I've waited long enough, you haven't left a gap in your armour, leave half a gap, I'm going for it. And that's precisely what he did. But the way that a fantastic exit from that corner, despite being off the circuit, out of Virage du Pont, and Victor Martin fought back, nearly got back up into second place at turn number one. Didn't quite manage it though. Still, the pit board goes out, but it's a very visual thing. Caio Collette, number one, does not need to be told he's in second place. He spent so long in third. At the first opportunity, moved up into second. But he's not likely to take the win in this race. Look, 5 and a bit minutes and one further lap, and he's got a 3-second disadvantage to Lorenzo Colombo, who's looked really super strong at the front of the race. Started from pole position and has driven in fabulous form for what could be a second consecutive win for the Italian. Car 27 still pressing on, still in the top 10. Hugo de Wilde, Hadrian David all over his tail. Hadrian's really caught up since moving up from 10th to 9th, but the clock is counting down, counting against him. Through turn 7 they go, up the first half of the Mistral Straight, and then of course these cars running only as far as the chicane, where they turn left and right and left again, and then continue up towards Seed. So they get 2 bites of the Mistral Straight. Are we about to see some overtaking? Absolutely we are. Done very well indeed. That was Michael Beloff going past Paul Aron. Michael came into the championship a little bit late, but he started with M2 competition, did the first 2 meetings, then he took a bit of a break, came back with Bitec, and now this weekend he's having his second outing for Race GP and going really rather well there. Four minutes plus one further lap. Our race leader, 3.3 seconds to go down at the tail of the field. Tiemann van der Helm being pushed and shoved. Amaury Cordeel wanting to go back past. Car 71 is the FA Racing example of Amaury Cordeel. His teammate 73 is the rookie Tiemann van der Helm right in front of him. Tiemann easy to spot, no black and white boring livery for him. He has the full metallic treatment, gold, blue and an orangey red on his car. Just looking to see who's fastest among the top few cars, and it's the driver in second place, Caio Collette. now we suddenly have a change because Victor Martin has afforded himself a little slip up and he's dropped back down to 4th place now. Colapinto into 3rd. Doesn't matter, still enough for the title, but for Caio Collette, you can see where the race leader Colombo is. You can see that Colapinto is in second place, in the 3rd place in behind him. That means he can't quite spot the driver he's trying to compete against, Victor Martin. I think Martin will quite like this stealth role. He might lose another place, and if he goes back to 5th, he will pick up only the 10 points. That will still give him a tidy championship margin, enough to claim this title without having to bother too much. Now let's have a little look. There's Martin, still in 3rd position. 4th position, still the orange-nosed MP Motorsport entry. Oh, good move there from Franco Colapinto, sort of outguessed down into the chicane. That's turns 4 into turn 5. That was very bold, particularly over the curbs on the inside. Huge oversteering moment, but a great move from Franco Colapinto there, up 1 place. Now he'll be hoping that Arden can get Alex Quinn, the top rookie, up a position as well. The clock is counting down for Victor Martin. He just wanted a quiet time, but suddenly got a bit busy. That one mistake, the contact or near contact with Caio Collette, and suddenly it led the chasers to get onto his tail. Still running in 4th place though. 4th place pays 12 points. 2nd place pays 18. That's where his championship rival is. So there'll be a 6-point swing. That will give him a 38-point championship advantage. 25 points on offer for tomorrow's race. So the title is all but in the pocket as the clock counts down towards the end of half hour, with 1 extra bonus lap added, of course, after the half hour is completed. So little distance to run to the finish, but enough is done. Team chief said Victor wants to end this championship with a win. Well, he's still got tomorrow's race to do that. It's not going to happen for him today, but he will be champion if they finish as they are now. The wide open spaces at Paul Ricard, they're there for safety. The barrier's a long way back. They look even wider. These little Formula Renault cars really are very petite indeed. And as a consequence, they can get side by side. They certainly seem to be able to fit a lot onto the circuit. Now, what does Alex Quinn think? He's the top rookie. He's running in car number 20 for Arden. Does he fancy having a crack to say, I at least caught and passed the 2020 champion? Or does he not want to risk it? He's the top ranked rookie. He's 4th in the championship overall. He's running 5th in the race today. So maybe just play it safe. 30 minutes plus 1 further lap. The 30 minutes nearly at conclusion. They are now 1 further lap beyond this. And absolutely just going through the penultimate corner into the final corner. Very easy to chart where the lap will start and finish. Caio Collette still chasing off a very good lap. He's brought the gap down. It was 2.67 seconds, 2.322 seconds. Colombo has got this one in the bag for Bytec. Gap between Collette and Colapinto has gone out best part of 5 seconds, but unfortunately for Collette, running around happily in 4th overall, maybe not as happily as if he was winning the race. Victor Martin will have this championship when he gets back to the paddock, providing he can come round one more time, see the checkered flag, and then he can cruise it in, have one of those wonderful moments that racing drivers very rarely get. They save them when they do. When you've won either a race or a title, and you just cruise back round to the pits. And of course, at this time of social distancing, teams have to act in their bubbles, but you don't get to celebrate with friends and family. They've had to stay away, which is hard. You lose the atmosphere, but you'll still get the pride and pleasure if you can land a championship. And certainly you scroll down the name of Formula Renault champions across the seasons. It's phenomenal. And what was the figure we heard earlier? 16 out of the current 20 drivers on a Formula One grids in the World Championship this year have competed. Not all have been champions, but they have competed in Formula Renault. So it looks though the order for 3rd, 4th and 5th for Colapinto, Victor Martin and Alex Quinn is going to stay stable around this final lap. Alex Quinn, the top rookie in 5th overall. He's 4th in the championship outright, so he's had a really, really good season. But it's the driver almost on the nose of his car, who's finished 2nd in the championship last year, is going to finish as champion this year with 19 of the 20 races run. The driver who took victory in the 2nd of 2 races last time out at Hockenheim has done it again from pole position. That's why he's weaving around. That's why Bitek lead through the wall and pump their fist. It's a Lorenzo Colombo. He's coming on super strong at the end of the season. And Caio Colette able to close to 1.3 seconds at the end. But Colombo had that one in his pocket from the outset of the race. And for Victor Martin in 92, he is the champion for 2020. He was runner-up last year. You can see him patting the steering wheel in pleasure, delight, and as ever in these circumstances, with a modicum of relief. What could have gone wrong didn't go wrong. The car didn't start rattling or making any scary sounds. And so very, very well done indeed for ART Grand Prix and for Victor Martin. He might have thought last year finishing 2nd, oh, maybe I've done enough in Formula Renault, I'll move up. But he came back, he wanted the title, and I think he will probably have learned an awful lot of skills to transfer up the racing ladder because of that very wise decision. Of course, it'd feel less wise if he came out of 2020 without having gone one better from 2nd to become champion, but it matters not. He's done it. He is champion for 2020. There are the flags being waved by the marshals out around the circuit in appreciation of a really clean, tidy race. There was overtaking in it as well, so certainly the drivers would have enjoyed themselves. None quite as much, I would say, as Lorenzo Colombo. Shows that first win at Hockenheim was no fluke. He put it on pole today. He's won it. He's also put it on pole for tomorrow's race. So Bitek will be delighted, but really in terms of career satisfaction, everything that Caio Colette did just wasn't enough. He was right with him. They were exchanging points halfway through the championship, but by the end, we're almost there now. 19 out of the 20 races completed. And our new champion, Victor Martin. So there's Lorenzo Colombo winning for Bitek by 1.349 seconds from the chasing Caio Colette. Franco Colapinto chased, got past Victor Martin. And then the top rookie was Alex Quinn in 5th place overall. Gregoire Saucy 6th. David Vidales, another rookie, in 7th. Hugo de Wilde 8th. Adrien David, terrible start from 5th. Worked his way back up to 9th. And Paul Aron completing the top 10. But really, the story today was Bitek. It was Lorenzo Colombo. 2 poles and now 1 win. It's been a good day for him at Circuit Paul Ricard. But it's been a great year. Not a good day, a great year for Victor Martin. He has 7 wins to his name. He didn't make it 8, but he's got the title he craved. He was runner-up last year, and now he's the champion. But also looking at what happened to last year's champion, Oscar Piastri. He stepped up to the FIA Formula 3 title championship, and he won that as well. So that's maybe a good omen for the top names in the Formula Renault Euro Cup in this, the champion Formula Renault's 50th year. Looking back at the start of the race, dreadful start from 5th place by the yellow and black car of Adrien David. But the first 4, despite a challenge from Victor Martin, the championship leader, he couldn't get past Lorenzo Colombo. Made him look one way, made him look another. Caio Colette slotted into 3rd position. He was 3rd on the grid, and then 4th position, likewise 4th on the grid, Franco Colapinto. The first 3 just gradually dropped those behinds. A little bit of pushing and shoving. Car 32 pushed wide there, and that was David Vidales, who would then pick his way back up through the order. Then one of the moves of the race, nearly coming off Franco Colapinto, nearly going inside Caio Colette, who would have been worried at that point. He didn't want to be knocked off. He still had a title to try and win. R17, plenty of action. Adrien David gaining positions after his stumble. 27, that's pushed hard by Hugo de Wilde, but many drivers close, but not doing lots of passing here at Paul Ricard. The driver who didn't have to pass anyone was Lorenzo Colombo. Just taking a look at that move again by Adrien David up the inside into turn 1, and certainly quite wise to let that move be completed. Then Caio Colette, wasn't lining up a move, suddenly thought, I'm going for it, and Victor Martin was pushed out of 2nd place or pushed wide. He got it back onto the circuit, had a little think, I'm up the inside, I've had actually a better entry to the start-finish straight despite being off the track. Could have dived up the inside, but Caio Colette was going, well, I'm just not letting you do that. So that was brave. And then Victor Martin under pressure indeed. Franco Colapinto going up the inside. Didn't matter, running where he was still in the position to take the title. Just didn't need to panic. And then at the end, 2 race wins in succession for Lorenzo Colombo and Vitek, chased home by Caio Collette. But for the Brazilian, it wasn't enough, because 4th place gave the title to his arch rival, Victor Martin, in 92. He's back in the pit lane, holding the championship winners board. So a job really well done, and team chief Zangarelli up there to congratulate him. So ART Grand Prix, another title for this illustrious French team. And for Lorenzo Vitek, he's had one of those sort of like the winner's prerogative, the slower in lap, just to savour the moment. He's really putting his name. He's not likely to move hugely up the championship table from 6th place, but if he puts in another win tomorrow, he may yet go up to 5th. But today, what mattered to him was taking another win. He experienced his first taste of victory at the last meeting last weekend, that was at Hockenheim. Nicer conditions, he's made the most of them. Lorenzo Colombo, will he stay for next year's championship and try and do what Victor Martin has done? But certainly ending his season in great style for Vitek. Again, still, as he goes off to find people to talk to, it is a much quieter environment for race winners these days in these socially distanced times. But good to see the applaud there from Victor Martin. Won't be on the podium as the champion. Caio Collette, you can see almost in tears there. He did all he could, ended up in 2nd place, down just by 1.3 seconds. But let's go down to hear from the driver who was 2nd in the championship last year. He went 1 better this year. It's Victor Martin.
Victor, congratulations, you have done it, champion.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, I'm not currently happy because of the race, but yeah, it's still 2020 Formula Renault Euro Cup champion, so it has been a long time I waited for that title, and we have done it, so I can be proud of my entire season, and with the team as well. We did a great job. Just today we didn't have the pace to fight with the others, but yeah.
Focus on the most important part. You are the champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations, well done.
Well, Victor Martin there, no driver ever likes not winning, but he took the title, and of course he was chased so hard by his championship rival Caio Collette, who then sprung a surprise and went past. But it was a mature drive from Victor Martin, did enough. 4th place was enough for him, and that's really what it was about. Brought it home just ahead of the top rookie Alex Quinn, but it was about the title. He could have moved on without coming for a 2nd season, having finished as runner-up last year, but he came back, needed to win the title, and he's done just that. He's got 1 more race tomorrow, and hopefully he will be able to perform without having to think about championship ambitions anymore, because the title is already in his pocket. Lorenzo Colombo, though, took the win this afternoon. He won last time out at Hockenheim. He's ending the season in great style. But let's go down to hear from that driver, Lorenzo Colombo. 2 wins on the trot now.
Lorenzo, congratulations. What a race.
Yeah, especially it was a good race. From the start, I managed to keep my P1 safe. So then from there, I saw some battle going behind me. And yeah, from there, I was just managing the race. I was setting fastest laps after fastest laps, so my pace was really consistent and during all the weekend. And yeah, I'm grateful for the team once again. We have been really strong in the last 2 races. I had done 2 pole positions here, so tomorrow we need to maximize also the race too, and we're giving 100% out of it.
Fantastic, well done, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Excellent work. I think we've got Caio Collette standing by. Caio? He is here, he's running in to join us. Caio, congratulations, a 2nd place there for you. Not exactly what you wanted, but consistency has been absolutely key this season.
Yeah, I mean, today we didn't maximize qualifying, a bit on my side as well. I didn't do a really good job, but the car was mega in the race, had a really good pace. Yeah, I think the championship, Victor deserved it. We had a few DNFs, a few ups and downs here and there. But I mean, still a good job overall this season, and I'm quite happy. Big thanks to the team for all the job they did, and we'll keep fighting for the win tomorrow.
Well done, congratulations. And finally, Franco Colapinto, who finished there in 3rd position. Franco, again on the podium. Great to have you back on here with us.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a good race, starting from P4, finishing on the podium once again. So happy we did. Also, we are P3 in the championship, is now secured, so happy with that as well. Thanks to the team for the great show in the last few races. We did an improvement, and I think we were quite strong also in the race pace. So thanks for the team for all this year, and let's go for the last race tomorrow.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you very much, Gemma. The interviews with the top three and the champions. So busy down there in Parc Fermé. Collette, it's just so interesting seeing the different reactions from the drivers, but from Lorenzo Colombo you can really sense the satisfaction. His season is suddenly looking very sweet at the end. He won't be champion. Well, we know the championship is now in the hands of Victor Martin, but the drivers have to turn around and go up to take their trophies on their socially distanced podium. There we are, down in the paddock, and in third place the driver we just heard from, Franco Colapinto from Argentina, Collette from just across the border in Brazil.
And of course, our race winner today from Italy in car number 53, Lorenzo Colombo.
So a big smile for Lorenzo Colombo. He will jump up onto the top step of the podium. His season is going very nicely indeed at this late stage.
Is Alex Quinn in car number 20.
And the driver, 5th overall, top rookie. He's really ending in his season in style. That's 6 rookie wins in 7 outings now for Alex Quinn.
Race winners, Bartek Nicolou Gagliano.
And so Bartek delighted with their driver, and a team representative moving up to take the team trophy there.
National anthem for Italy. Congratulations once again to our race winner, Lorenzo Colombo. Hope we just see an official photograph with all of our top 3.
So the podium ceremony is very nearly completed, and the man on the top step, Lorenzo Colombo, 2nd place, Collette in the race and the championship, and 3rd place on the right-hand side of the podium, Franco Colapinto, and the driver who took the top rookie honours in 5th place overall, Alex Quinn, having a really good championship as well. One more race to go in the 2020 Formula Renault Euro Cup, and they'll come back tomorrow. We have no idea who's going to win, but I can tell you who's on pole. The driver who was on pole today, and he turned that into victory. That's Lorenzo Colombo.
Race winners today here at Paul Ricard, and we'll do it all again tomorrow.
Socially distant champagne spraying there, very quick for MP Motorsport. Face full of champagne for a crew member. That's Franco Colapinto, very much getting in on the action, and Bartek also celebrating as they go back to their truck, because they took that victory with Lorenzo Colombo here in race 19 out of 20 for the 2020 championship. We'll come back again tomorrow, but what we can tell you for sure, we know who is the champion for 2020. It's Victor Martin. We'd heard from him. He'd like to end his season with a victory, but certainly with his tail up, Lorenzo Colombo will be doing his very best to make sure he stops that run. As always with the Formula Renault Euro Cup, the racing was great, it was close, it was tight, but our champion for 2020 is Victor Martin.